Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is the Community Pod, and I am your host, Lester Class. Each and every episode is going to be filled with amazing stories from amazing people. You will hear the different journeys people went through, or are still going through, to be able to do what they love. From the failures to the successes and everything in between. This is a place to get to know the person behind their passion, because people only get to see the successes and not what it took to get there. If this is your first time tuning in, please subscribe and leave a review if you love the content. Now finally, I would love to welcome you to the Community Pod. What's going on, everyone? This is Lester Clash, your host with the Community Pod, and I got an amazing guest in the building. I got an influencer, a musician. He does it. He basically does it all. I got Peace in the building. What's going on?
What's good?
What's going on? So I know this is your first podcast. How does it feel to be at a podcast?
I mean, it feels cool. I think I like the whole, like, seeing the behind the scenes. Like, now I know what it looks like, you know?
Yeah.
So I feel like regardless of cameras, mics, it's like really just conversation. It's like two people. So.
Exactly. So I guess the first question we could get into is basically like, so where are you from?
I'm from Vauxhall, New Jersey. It's something like a borough inside of Union, but basically it's its own kind of separated community, and we a little bit different, I feel like. So I claim Vauxhall.
Okay.
Word.
Cool. So the reason I asked that is because I really like to get from like the moment of you, like, you know, being able to be on this earth into who you are now. So what was life growing up for Peace?
Life growing up for Peace consisted of 6 siblings in one household, a Nigerian household. I'm Nigerian, mom and dad. Both in the family, both in the household. Very loving, good relationship. Feel like I had a pretty good upbringing, but it wasn't easy necessarily, you know. It's a lot of kids. You got to do what you got to do. My dad's a businessman, so business is in me. Like, the independence is in me. Good morals. So I feel like that really molded who I'm around now and what I do and how I carry myself, and the people that I'm around, how they carry themselves. I feel like it was a good upbringing though. Never like nothing super crazy, but, you know, every day, lower middle class struggles type of thing.
Mm-hmm. So you said you had 6 siblings.
6.
And you're not the oldest of the 6. So
Not
what is it like
oldest.
having 6 siblings?
I think that is something that makes me so relatable.
Okay.
Like, being around so many different stories being molded at one time, it's like you have no choice but to, like, kind of pick up and, like, take from and, you know, add your own sauce flavor, you know. But we all really love each other, all, like, good relationship. Nobody's, like, an outcast or nothing like that. Like, everybody's cool, you know. So I feel like it was harder, I think, than maybe 2-kid, 1-kid family household, but, like, we always made it work, and my parents believe in God, and that held us over a lot. So
Yeah. So you yourself, growing up in a family where you know, God is implemented, does he play a big role in your life?
An extremely large role in my life. He is the reason me personally, I believe he's the reason that we should do anything, and he blesses us with gifts. So if you're going to use that gift, you got to, one, make sure you're respecting him and use it to glorify his name. So everything I do, I make it very known that I do it for God, and I want to give him all the glory at the end of it all, because I know I'm going places.
Yeah.
But it's a journey, and God going to be there the whole time. So
I asked that because, you know, I feel like there's a lot of things that are being thrown around when it comes to him, especially on social media. You know what I mean? But I'm glad that you put it the way you did.
Right.
So to get back into, you know, who you are and everything, when is it that you found the passion for making music?
Really, it started in 2020. I think it was like right during the pandemic. And I feel like that was like such a like brewing pot for so many people. Like, so many people like figured out, oh, I really like to draw. Like, I'm really into clothes. I'm really into, you know what I'm saying? Like, And for me, it was music. Like, it was really just because me and my friend, we was just talking about it one day. I was like, yo, like, I could really rap low-key, but I don't like my voice like that. But I want to make Afrobeat music. Like, I want to make something for partying, and it would be different, blah, blah, blah. So it all started in 2020, and I was making Afrobeat music. And I'm still capable of it, but I got a vision and I want to execute, so.
So what do you feel like it would take for you to execute it? Or have you been executing it?
I feel like as of now I am executing. It's just like something I realized is like you can have the most talent. If you're not pushing that, if you're not working towards it, no one cares.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why should anybody care if you're not going to be behind your own biggest fan, you know? Like, if you're not actually pushing your stuff, like making it look real, everything is as real as it looks, you know? Like, if I walked in here and there was one rinky-dinky light and it's only the one, like, little itty-bitty camera or something, it's like I don't really feel like it's that real. But because you work hard, you put effort into your setup, it's like, okay, yeah, we're serious, you know?
Yeah.
So it's really up to you. It's
Mm-hmm.
really up to how you want to make people feel about your stuff. So I feel like I'm executing.
Okay. So how important, because you mentioned one, I got to say I appreciate the fact that, you're telling me that I did a good job with the setup. So I appreciate it a lot.
Sure.
But to get into a question, to make that a question, it's more like, what do you feel, how important do you feel is presentation?
Presentation. I feel like presentation isn't really so, I don't know how to say this. It's like presentation is what you make it, because me personally, I feel like I carry myself well for me. So it's not a presentation,
Mm-hmm.
you know. It's more like preservation of myself and making sure I'm good,
Mm-hmm.
because you got to make sure you look good, feel good, you know. Like, that's how I look at it.
Yeah. So the reason I ask is because the way that I kind of see presentation is it's important to present yourself. To say the same way, the way that I see presentation, the word is just presenting yourself in the best way that you possibly can, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like you were saying the same thing, but just kind of differently. We
Yeah.
were getting at the same thing though.
Yeah.
But what I want to say is I want to see if you agree. Presentation is important, but it's about, you can have a great presentation but be a horrible human being, right?
That's a fact.
So how important, or like, what is your opinion on that when there's people that put up a front or just make themselves look good but they're not really that good?
I feel like it's a disservice to yourself. That gotta be tiring. Like, if you going out your way to present yourself to somebody else or the world or whoever it is, like, aren't you gonna lose some of yourself in that? Or like, you're like, it's a job, like, you know?
Yeah.
By being authentic, it's just you.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's not work. So that's the way I see it. So I feel like people that do that, you should try. It's usually because of insecurities, though. You know. So I feel like if you would try and like learn yourself and like yourself, because even me personally, I didn't like my rapping voice at first. Like, that's why I was making Afrobeat music, and then I was doing like more singy rappy. But now it's like, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna talk and I'm gonna execute it well. So it's really up to you finding what you like about yourself and just push that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is something that you feel like you implement in your life that really allowed you to, one, be yourself, as well as kind of like have this energy that people can see just by looking at you?
That's a good question. I think it was like, I think it goes back to having so many siblings.
Okay.
Like, it's a brewing pot, so it's like, it's a brewing pot, but it makes you want to be individual so bad. Like, it makes you want to have your own, you know?
Yeah.
Because everybody got to share everything. So that one thing you can control, you really want to control it, you know? So honestly, actually, I'll say this. My little brother, 17, he's hardworking, smart, and he gets fly. Like, he looks like that boy. And I'm his big brother, so how I look walking around like a clown, you know? Like, and not just that, but like everyone I'm around, you could see my boy right here. Crazy, all one of one.
He's going
all
so crazy.
one of one. Like, that's him.
fire.
So it's like, you got to, you know? So it really be a crowd. Like, if I'm around a bunch of niggas that wear sweatpants every day, a t-shirt, you know what I'm saying? they don't brush their teeth. You know, like if I'm around that all the time, I'm gonna be a product of my environment.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I feel like my environment, me being intentional about who I'm around, it drives me a lot. Like it's crazy how much.
Nah, yeah. I like that you said that because that energy is easily passed on to you depending on who you're around. You know what I mean?
Word.
And when it comes to music, right? Did you surround yourself with more people that are in tune with, I guess you can say, the culture? Because I feel like it's not just people that you're in tune with just music, because music and clothing can go hand in hand.
Mm-hmm.
So have you been able to surround yourself in this community, and have you felt good about it?
For sure. I feel like I was just about to ask, what do you mean by the culture?
Mhm.
But I get it now. Like people that are into other things that have to do with art and
Yeah,
and like
the creative aspect.
yeah, their creative aspect. Word. So I feel like the creative aspect, like being around other people that are on the same kind of wavelength,
Mhm.
it boosts you so much more because it's like now your conversations are about your craft.
Yep.
Now you're going to your friends' clothing line release, doing pictures for their clothing lines, or now, bro, like, oh yeah, I got a session, might as well pull up, like, you know.
Yeah.
So now you're in the studio around more music. Your friends start picking up like, yo, we making all this music, spending all this time in the studio, but we should start doing shows. Like we got good music. All right, let's do it. Like I see an open mic right here, blah, 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 blah. Like this is literally how it happens. Like this is literally how it happens. Like you have to surround yourself with what you want to be like or who you want to be. And that's what makes it real to you.
Yeah.
Or,
Do you feel like there's ever like this thing that's kind of stopping people from pursuing their creativity? Because the reason I asked the question is because there's a lot of people that sit down and think, oh, I'm not going to make it, but don't try, right? Like you just said yourself, it started off with just looking up open mic. It was like, let's do it.
mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Is that one step just like that push, even pushing yourself to go and do it?
Mm-hmm. I feel like those little steps make such a big difference because if you don't take the little steps, you can't know what to do when you're doing what you're trying to do,
Mm-hmm.
essentially. But can you rephrase the question though?
No,
Repeat
yeah, of
the
course.
question.
So the entirety of the question really was to get into the fact that, do you feel like those little steps that
Mhm.
you took are just some steps that people should take that feel like there's nothing going on for them, or maybe
Okay.
I shouldn't do it?
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like it's really like everybody, like it's so easy to hate. It's so easy to hate and let hate be on you. Like the fear of what other people might think really creeps some people out. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you have to have a sense of I don't care
Yep.
to do what you do. Like that will hold you in so many different ways. Like literally just thinking, oh my gosh, like my mom's not gonna like that I make music. Like she gonna think I'm playing with my life or something like that. Thoughts like that creep in and they cripple you. But when you believe in God and you feel like things are like going a certain way for a reason, you're gonna believe. Like you have to have a sense of belief in yourself
Mm-hmm.
before anything else. Like I don't have nothing against people that just keep their craft as their craft and keep it personal to them. 'Cause sometimes that's what it is. Like
Mm-hmm.
not everybody has to go and post their music everywhere and want to be on stage or have their life on the internet and all this stuff. You know,
Yep.
it's not for everybody. But if you think like so highly of your stuff and you like, yo, like I want to share this with the world, but there shouldn't be a but.
Mm-hmm.
Start where you are. Like I literally made a song today and I said, you don't need no MacBook. Like I like to make jokes in my bars, but it's like it's a true statement though. I said, you don't need no MacBook. I started with Adele. Yeah, I do this rap shit, but I still bump Adele. So it's like you don't need a MacBook.
Yeah.
You could start with your Dell. You could start with what you got. Start off your phone, bro. It's what's the app called?
iMovie.
Yeah, you
Or
got
CapCut.
iMovie, and I'm talking about like the little recording, like you can make music
Oh,
on
the
your
voice
phone.
memos, yeah.
Like you could literally make music on your phone, add a beat, like you can start wherever you are. I know this one artist from Vauxhall as well, Chris Blast. He used to be on his phone, like just doing it on his phone, and his bars are hard. You don't care what it sound like, and somebody gonna believe in him and put him in a studio. You know
Exactly.
what I'm saying? So start where you at.
So you mentioned that, like, that people can start off anything. Where it comes to Adele, you don't need a MacBook, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like some people miss that point and feel like I need to start off with the best equipment to start off being great. No, you can start off with whatever. Just keep
Literally.
going. Like you mentioned the voice memos. The technology is in our hands.
Literally.
Like, you don't have to, even if you don't have an iPhone, you don't have to have an iPhone. There's phones
Literally.
that you can literally just record yourself on anything.
Get
and
some
just work.
headphones, bro. You could get you some headphones,
Yeah.
bro. You know what I'm saying? Like,
You seen so many people, bro, they just take the mic to their mouth and just,
Yo,
talk and
bro.
just put it to somebody else's. Like, you don't have to have the best equipment. I like that you mentioned that, because you don't.
exactly.
Start off with whatever you got and just do it. Like, and I like that you said, in order to do what we're doing as creatives, I just want to say, like, it doesn't have to only be creatives. If you want to go to school and, like, pursue something that not everybody wants to pursue, just do it. Like,
Exactly.
you have to stop allowing the opinions to have so much weight on you. Because at the end of the day, like someone mentioned in the podcast before, Samad, shout out to Samad, where he said, like, people are going to have opinions regardless.
Regardless.
You could be doing amazing and people are still going to still have opinions about you. So just do it. So
Even while you're not doing nothing, somebody talking shit. Like, bro.
people will talk shit if you're doing
saying?
something and if you're not doing something.
But you know what it is, though? It's, for me, it's God. Because God, like, shows me so many different times, like, this is not, like, I'm not going the wrong way for sure. This may not be the whole thing, right? But I'm in it right now.
Exactly.
And I'm trusting him. Because as I'm doing this, everything just falls in my lap. Like, stuff is just happening. Like, I can't make this up. Even the way I started recording.
Yeah.
For a good amount of time, I never had to pay for studio time. And everything, like, just relationships, giving you connections to this, to that, to this, to that. Like, it gotta be God.
I feel the same way. I've been able to make connections 2 weeks into this, and, like, I like that you said that I've only been doing this for 2 months, and you thought that I was been doing this for a year.
I thought you been doing this, bro.
And that's an amazing feeling, because for me, myself, as a podcaster, there's a lot of stereotypes for us. A lot of it is just toxic masculinity, and they're not really trying to push nobody, and they're not trying to have anybody on their show. It has to be someone with weight on them that's going to bring them something. At the end of the day, everybody that comes on this podcast brings me something. Brings me your worth. You as a human being have worth. Everybody has worth. So at the end of the day, like, when if you're not here, there's an empty spot. What's the difference?
There's
it's a big
stories.
difference. There's a big difference. There's no one sitting there compared to a human being with a soul who has been through something, who's dealt with trauma, who's also trying to pursue something. And like all other creatives, and even not creatives, people that are pursuing a job, it's difficult. Everybody goes through something in their journey. And I like that you mentioned that God has a way of working. Things are falling in your lap. You know what I mean? When you're doing so well, God puts things in your lap. He's also going to throw obstacles at you, because it's not all supposed to be easy either.
Exactly.
So to add to make this a question, what are some obstacles you've had to face so far trying to be a musician as well as an influencer? So I got to shout out your guy back here, but he's putting in the work. He's out here recorded to be here and support you.
Right.
So God puts things in your lap, but I know that there's times where, you know what I mean, like you've been through obstacles. So what are some obstacles you've been through to be, that allow you to be who you are?
Some obstacles. I would start with, like, growing up, it's not like stuff is sweet, like everybody has their obstacles, but all I had, like, obstacles, I wouldn't even look at it as an obstacle, right? It's like, okay, growing up, we didn't really do too much as in, like, going out and stuff, but God blessed me with so many good relationships as a child. Like, I have so many friends that I've known them since I was like 6 years old, just from running around, like, and that brought me basketball, which brought me a lot more friends, a lot more relationships that are blessing me to this day. Like, so obstacles, I can't even really list of obstacles because I just want to, I always kind of, I don't know, find like the brightness in it. And it's so crazy because like I feel like some people, well, actually, I'll give you an obstacle, okay? An obstacle is people's mentality towards you as a musician off the rip. Like, as somebody that makes music, somebody that raps, everybody, like, literally, I could tell you in the past week, I've had 3 people say, yo, bro, I'm not going to lie, before you showed me this, I thought this was going to be trash. But this is pretty good. Like, so preconceptions, like, pre-thoughts that just like, oh, you're just a regular person that makes music to you because you know me. But that's another thing that like pushed me to think. Some people that'll push you down like, oh, people don't really care about my stuff, like what? But then I look at it like, oh, y'all don't care because y'all know me. I'm gonna go find people that don't know me and they gonna care about it. So, and nah, I'm not gonna lie, like I get mad love from people I know, but I'm saying like, you know, you can't just do this off the people you know.
Exactly.
Like, so it's like, okay, this is cool. Like, everybody's giving me compliments. Everybody's like, yo, bro, when you going to drop this? When you going to do this? Okay. It must be pretty good. So now I'm going to go out to the world like, okay, what's up? But, yeah.
Do you ever find it crazy how much, like, the internet reaches? Do you ever find that crazy? How many people you can reach through your music just by posting it on the internet?
It is crazy. Like, we could really sit here and act like 30 likes on a video is little, but if it's 30 people in the room watching you make that video, you're gonna be like, you know? So it's like getting so many different viewers like that you don't even know, like just by a hashtag or just by a post, or somebody that you know shares your stuff and somebody that didn't even know about you does it. Like, it's crazy. And something that I did see is that like after you do a show or something like that, or you're out and there's something public like connected to somebody else's events or something like that, it's like that's when you get to reap what you're sowing. Like, you're working, but you're bringing in more people that didn't know about you and now they care about you for some reason, you know, because something about you is like, all right, this guy's pretty good, you know, like regardless of what you do. And for you, like interviewing different people, you're only going to start interviewing more and more like popular people, or more and more like that draw a crowd to you. Like, so just keep going, bro. It's I'm seeing it, bro.
The thing is that the only thing, and I gotta say this because I feel like a lot of people don't see this part, but the only reason the podcast is growing the way it is because I haven't stopped. The moment you stop is the moment that something could have happened to you. The moment you stop is when it really is over. Don't, like, that goes for everybody. That goes for yourself. Don't think that if you stop, there's actually people who give a fuck about your music. Like, you're sitting back and you stop releasing, you're like, damn, where'd he go? Like, I actually listen to his music.
It's crazy.
So don't ever give up on anything that you're doing. Like, I'm in the beginning stages. We're in the beginning stages.
Facts.
And like 2 years from now, we're going to still be in the beginning stages.
Facts.
It's about how hard you work. Just continue to put in the work. So
something gotta pop.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you really working, something gotta pop. Like, just off due diligence, you gonna get something out of it. Like, if nothing else, it's gonna bring you a different level of confidence in whatever you take that energy and shift it towards. Like, and sometimes like stuff isn't permanent, or that's not where you end up, but just what you know could bless somebody else, or it could be the driving factor for what you're about to get into next. Like, there's so many different avenues.
So I want to ask, right, what do you think? It's a little bit difficult question. If I could try to make it easier for you, just let me know. What do you think people appreciate the most about your when someone is consistent, when they're always putting stuff out, and you're always getting to see that person that you're for yourself? That, what do you think people appreciate most about you?
For me, excuse me, I think the thing that I see most consistent for me that people like is I don't do the mumble stuff, you know. I feel like I execute like my bars well. Like, I like the art of rap. Like, for real, I like the art of rap. Like, I like to rap. So when I'm making music, I want to have something that's gonna make niggas say like, oh, like
Yeah.
that's what I do it for, like a bar. Like I don't want to say the same thing over and over. I don't want to like just be saying anything,
Yeah.
And also, it gives you an ability to like actually touch people, because like if you say something that somebody really relates to, like or somebody that really needs to hear this, like you gotta deliver the message. Like in one of the songs I just made, also that I'm performing tonight, I say money make friends, pull up in the Benz, think I need to cleanse all this money on my hands. Everyone your mans when you bringing in them bands, but they wasn't there when you was stuck on 5s and 10s. So it's like, it's given like for me, like as I'm starting to move up and stuff, you start to kind of like have to be more wary. Like my people around me telling me, be wary of who you keep around and know people's intentions and take them for what they say they are, like for their actions, not for what they say they are, for their actions, So paying attention more to that, that's what's going on in my life right now. So that's what I talk about in my music. So I feel like it's also just the reality of it. Like I'm talking about stuff that everybody can feel, and I'm not talking about harming nobody. I'm not talking about none of that, but it's still slapping though. Still slapping though. You're going to feel it. And I ain't got to talk about too much of that. Anything violent. So, yeah.
Okay. So when it comes to, like, I want to ask, what is it that, what's the end goal with music? What is your goal and what are your intentions with music?
So, as I get deeper and deeper into this, I really start to realize I really enjoy a lot of the stuff that this requires. Like, when it comes to a show, I just got booked for Unity Day at Rutgers University. So that's going to be a movie. Like, I like the idea of planning out how my show's going to go, like having dancers and make sure this cameraman is doing that while this one is doing that. And then actually being on stage, rapping the shit I wrote and recorded.
Yeah.
I get to go in front of 200, 300 plus people and really do this, and I'm good at it too. Like, and I'm not gonna lie, I give that credit to my mom. From a young age, she used to make me and my brother perform at people's events, bro. Like, we used to have to dance and sing at a wedding at like 6 and at like 10 and 6 years old. So that's a funny story, and nobody got no type of facts about this or no evidence. But I'm telling y'all, I've been doing this for real.
So there's two questions that I want to add to what you were just saying. So how important is your mother to you?
My mother, first and foremost, she's an amazing woman. Like, she does so much, and she's really one of my driving factors. Like, one day she's gonna wake up and really not worry about nothing. Like, she's not gonna have a care in the world. Like, she's not gonna have a care in the world. Like, she has to think about, thank God I'm up. What am I gonna do? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That type of mindset, she deserves it. She's done so much for me and all my siblings, and she has had 7 children, so like, she's gonna be taken care of. We're getting the job done. So yeah, that's real. That's my rock.
Okay.
Word.
So you mentioned that you've been performing since you were 10 years old. You and your brother, right?
My brother was 6. I was 10.
Okay. So
he gonna be mad I mentioned this too. But yeah.
But the reason I bring that up, bringing it back up, is like, so when you first did your first performance, it wasn't much of a. Were you nervous for your first?
Scared.
Yeah. Still.
Scared. No, not still. But when I was younger, scared. I was like, why would you make me do this? Like,
yeah.
What did I do? Like, this is punishment, bro. Like, I don't even know this song. You make me learn this song to sing for somebody's wedding, bro. Let them be married. Why do I have to be involved, bro? But it's like, just doing stuff like that, it's like, I don't even think about it that often, right? But it's little stuff like that that really mold you. Like also my dad, he's an artist. He paints like abstract art,
That's cool.
like he could fill this house, the walls in this house with art. He's really different. So him doing that. Also, when my sisters were younger, he had a studio in his warehouse.
Okay.
He does cabinetry, but he had a studio in his warehouse, so my sister and her and my cousins could make music. A real like production studio, like the whole different room and
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying, on the whole big board and all that. Like I remember seeing this as a kid, and I remember I recorded a song actually. I was probably like 6. That's crazy. I'm really just thinking about this. That's crazy. Like like this actually runs deep. But yeah.
No, so do you feel like that's a big push for you because your dad is as a creative? Because you know what I mean. Like I feel like sometimes as young creatives we are looked at, especially from adults, where it's just like, hey, don't do that. That's dumb.
Mm-hmm.
But to have, growing up with a father who is
Yeah.
creative, how much of an effect is that on you?
For the beginning of my life, I feel like it more so affected me just business wise because like he's also a business owner. So it's like by being under that and seeing how he runs stuff and how everything is on his time, like
Mhm.
he just the boss. You feel
Yeah.
me? It's like I want to be the boss too. You know what I'm saying? So it's like really, it gave me a sense of like I want to do for myself.
Yeah.
So from a young age in school, selling snacks, selling baked goods, didn't have a job till pretty recently. Like you know what I'm saying? So it's like him being an artist on top of that. Now when I show him my music, he's like, "That was good, but you could go harder."
Mm-hmm.
Like getting that at home, that's why I don't care about nothing. Cause my dad likes my music. My dad is a critic. Like he's really like that. Like he's not gonna tell you, yeah, that's good if he doesn't believe it. If he doesn't like, he's gonna say it. So for him to say it's good, but you could do this, this, and that, and it'll make it this much crazier. Like I'm taking all that advice for sure,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't take my having a father for granted at all, because I know that's not everybody's situation. And I had like he makes that, he implies that as well. Like life isn't forever, so you have a dad, you have to like, and I'm your dad, so I have to make sure I'm using this time wisely. And he lets me know this type of stuff. And he doesn't know that, but I really do appreciate and respect him. He knows that, though, for sure.
No,
Yeah.
that's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to that, like your dad being your biggest critic, right?
Mm-hmm.
How important and what advice would you give to people that are like getting critiques and can't accept those critiques? How important is it for you to just accept them?
I feel like it depends on if you know where it's coming from. Like you should know where people's energy is coming from. Like if it's coming from a place of love, you have to take that and apply it in some way, like because they wouldn't say it unless they cared. But if it's on some like, oh, just people talking about you or whatever, what are they gonna do?
Mm-hmm.
What are you really gonna do? Like, what are we really gonna do? You don't like my music, or you don't. I've never even personally, nobody's ever said it to me, but I know some people don't like my music. You know, they probably, you could probably tell in their actions, so you know where it's coming from. Basically,
Yeah.
You know, like they'll say like, oh, it's cool, but like you could tell by the way they ain't even really care about.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I think that
You know what
happens
I'm
a
saying?
lot. You know what I mean?
so you get to understand where the energy is coming from, and you assess it that way. You know,
Yeah.
and don't be too big headed. Like,
Yeah.
I will take criticism, I will take advice to the day I die.
Yeah. That's how you grow.
That's
You know
how
what I
you
mean?
grow. That's why otherwise you're gonna stay stagnant in that same exact spot forever.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
But isn't it? I just find it crazy how like you're coming from a family, right? It's a really big family, a loving
Mhm.
family.
Mhm.
And I gotta say that one, that's beautiful that you have a family that supports you the way that you do, that they do,
Mhm.
and I know that you appreciate that. So
Yeah.
the reason I'm bringing that up is I really want to ask you, like, what is it that wakes you up every morning to do what you're doing?
It's my family for sure. My younger brother, his mentality is so crazy. Like, it's like he's damn near like my twin. Like, in terms of age, like his mindset, like he's just on a different type. He's actually on some stuff that 21-year-olds aren't on. Like, he makes stuff happen.
Mm-hmm.
And being that he's always around me, that makes me think like I have an effect on what he does, because he sees what I do and he wants to, it's not like it's like that, but like, it's like, just like I said, who you're around reflects what you do. So it's like he takes from me, but he don't even know I take from him so much, because he really moves. Like, I know, like, we talk about this all the time. Like, I damn near call him 21 because I know he's going to be rich by 21. He's 17 right now. And y'all could check the dates. 21. By March 10th, whatever, 4 years from now, 2027, he's going to be rich, like, not a care in the world. Whatever car he wants, whatever country he wants to be in right now, he's doing that. Mom's good, pop's good, family good, whatever he wants.
Mm-hmm.
And I know he's going to do that by himself without me doing nothing. So I just want to make the path easier, because I know where it's all going. Like, all my siblings are really there. Like, we're all there. Like, and that's why I say I'm blessed. Like, because it's always something, But with them, it's really nothing like that. Everybody is really here with it. So it's like, you got no choice but to go hard, for real. So it's really my family that drives me and that I do it for.
Yeah. I gotta say, one, like, you talk about your brother a lot.
Yeah.
And I can tell that just by sitting here and you talking about him, how much he means to you.
Word.
And I gotta also say, if in 4 years, when in 4 years he makes it and everything, I'm gonna be old as hell. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wait, yo, don't forget about me. I don't know your brother, but don't forget about me. But to mention, just to talk about your brother a little bit more, like, I know that you're basically telling everybody who's listening how much he means to you, right?
Right.
And I know that he more than likely knows it. The way that you're talking about him is amazing. And how important is that brotherly love to you? Like, I feel like a lot of people don't get that opportunity.
Yo, it's so crazy. Like, I always wanted an older brother. So, like, when I was younger, I'll go to my cousin's crib. They live in the hall, too. I'll go over there and spend, like, in the summer, I'll spend 3 weeks. I got to come home to 4 older sisters. So in the summer, I'm over there. Like, and Mike ain't really like him like that. So he ain't really come over there that much.
Gotcha.
But I made sure I was over there, because it's like, you want to be around guys, like, you want to play the video games, you want to go hoop, you want to play around and fight and do stupid knucklehead stuff, like, so I would always be over there. And then, like, I started getting older, and I ain't gonna lie, I ain't really rock with Mike back then either. I ain't really like the kid, because he was just real, like, hard-headed, like that youngest, you know what I'm saying? And I ain't really like him till I got a little bit older. He got a little bit older. I'll say, like, he, like, 10, 11. I'm, like, 14, 15. I'm, like, he all right, I guess. He cool, whatever. Like, maybe I'll hang out with this guy. My fault.
No, you're good.
But, yeah, like, after that, it's like we just start hanging out more, like, have more to relate about. Like, now he likes to play basketball just like I like to play basketball. So it's just like we starting to build the actual brother relationship. So, like, growing up with somebody and seeing how smart they are and how they move or what they want to do and how they drive themselves, and, like, they tell you, I get this from you, bro. Like, I appreciate you and this and that, and, like, telling, like, it's just reflection, always constant reflection. It's constant checking yourself, because if you don't check yourself, bro, definitely gonna say something. Same way he know he can't move a certain way, because he know I'm gonna say something. But now it's like, I respect your voice, because you have a sound mind. I respect your voice, so I know you're gonna say something, so I'm gonna carry myself a certain type of way. And that pile on top, just little conversations you can have at 3 a.m. about what you want to do and how you're trying to go about it, and having somebody that you feel like is as smart as you or has more intellect in certain situations, vice versa, me and him, vice versa, right? Having that to, like, bounce ideas off of, carry something out. Like, it's 2 of us at all times. I have a lot of good friends. I have a lot of good friends that I call my brothers, but it's always gonna be two of us. Forever, it's gonna be two of us. Like anything I want to do, I at least have my brother behind me.
Mm-hmm.
So, what's up? Feel me? So like that boosts you up. That boosts me up probably like times 10.
Nice,
I don't know who I would be without it, for real.
So you mentioned that when you're able to talk to him, like if you don't like something, you'll mention it, or like
sure.
if I feel like you guys implemented a lot of like when it comes to the two of you, since you know what I mean, like being around. You mentioned being around guys, you know what I mean, and you know it helps a lot, especially at a young age. You just wanna, and I completely understand because I grew up with all women, and it was just like I really want to do different. You know what I mean? Like I want to go
Right.
outside. I want to do not reckless stuff, but I want to go have fun.
You know what I'm
what I
saying?
mean?
You want to be a boy.
Yeah. So
Like,
like
what?
the reason I bring that up is I just feel like I said, you guys implemented this vulnerability in some ways.
Right.
If correct me if I'm wrong.
Right.
But how important do you feel like to be vulnerable is? Do you feel like being vulnerable, especially towards you got to watch who you're being vulnerable with.
True.
But
I was just gonna mention.
yeah, you gotta be careful with who you're being vulnerable with. But at the end of the day, like, how important is that word implement, and how important is it in your life?
So everyone has to have somebody to be into, like, what was the word you said?
Vulnerable.
Vulnerable, yes. Everybody has to have a space to be vulnerable. Because how do you remember who you are? How do you see yourself? Like, how do you remember yourself? Like, take care of yourself. How do you do that if you don't have a space to be vulnerable and let that outside of yourself? Everybody can have their thoughts, but to be able to have people to be vulnerable with, it's a mandatory thing in order for you to be mentally healthy, first of all.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you have to be able to call somebody and tell them, like, yo, bro, like, I'm not feeling it, bro. Like, somebody just made me mad. Like, yo, chill, bro, relax.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not that serious. Some situations will go totally different if I don't have my brother to talk to, or my sisters. I love my sisters. We could talk about anything. My older brother, but he way older, so you know what I'm saying? But like,
very different. Yeah.
now it's like that now,
Mm-hmm.
because we're getting older. But like, if you don't have nobody to be vulnerable with, it's gonna show in your character. Like, you don't know how to relate to people. You don't know how to feel empathy for other people.
Mm-hmm.
It makes you just a all around better person, I feel like.
Yeah. So
You gotta be vulnerable.
not definitely. So for yourself, like, who are some people that you look up to? It could be in your life, or just, you know, people in the world. But who are just some people that you look up to?
People I look up to. I look up to my older brother. He gonna be mad I said this, but he 40-some. That's a grown man with grown man responsibilities.
Yep.
Family, has his wife and his kids, multiple kids. Like, he really, like, and knows my nieces and nephews, and I love them too. But like, he takes care of business.
Yeah.
And tries to help out at the crib, and put me on game and tell me about this play and that play. Oh, you need to do this? I got you. Let me know when this and that. You know what I'm saying? He takes care of business. Like, if you go in to see bro, he's most likely getting that flight for you. That's a man. That's a real, like, you know, that's the type of guy I want to be when I get older. My dad too, the same way. Like, those are two people I really look up to. I was saying my cousins too. I can't forget about Bus 2AV, Ike, all them. Like, those are my boys too. Like, the ones that I would go over to hang out with. Like, the way they take care of business now too. Like, everybody's on to something. Like, the people close to me, which again, I'm blessed. And I'll probably say this. You could put a blessed count on for the video. Like, I'm blessed with very amazing people so close to me. Like, it's like you could touch. It's tangible.
Yeah.
I don't gotta look out to like people I see on the net or somebody that's, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah.
So we are coming to an end, but I want to ask 2 more questions, if that's all right.
Got you.
So the one I want to ask, right, is about the music aspect, right? What do you feel like is something that you have to do as a musician in order to be successful?
You gotta believe in yourself and take risks. And you got to be able to understand that everything is not about the dollar. If you don't love it, if you don't like actually care about the little itty bitty parts of it, you're not going to, people, even if you do get to some stature, somebody going to get you. Somebody going to pull that rug from under your feet because you ain't pay attention when it was just a seed.
Mm-hmm.
Which is something also that I take from my relationship with God. He shows me in so many different things that you have to take care of the seed and water your seed in order for it to grow properly. Because
Mm-hmm.
if you just buy a plant, you ain't know that plant only had 20 more days to live. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I don't know if that makes sense.
No, it does make
but
sense.
like, yeah. So like, you got to take care of it while it's small, and then when it gets big, you'll know exactly what to do with it, how to manage it, all that. You've been through it all. And it's not always about money. It's not always about money. Some things are just about building a better relationship with people. And that will be that would be greater than the monetary gain you could have got from it because you went to tax this little thing.
Mm-hmm.
Some things are bigger than that. So sometimes you got to take that L, which turns out to be a W.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Okay, so the last question, right, before we end it off.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want people to know about peace?
I want people to know that I feel like it's a lot of, I feel like I want people to know that I'm different. And I don't mean to say that like, oh, everybody's the same, or like, oh, I'm so much better than nobody. I just want people to know that peace believes in peace before anybody does or did or is going to.
Mm-hmm.
So you going to see it in the pudding. The proof is in the pudding. We working, and peace is not going to stop.
Okay.
And I say that to say anybody that wants to do this, you can do it too. And don't stop. Don't let nobody stop you. Y'all going to see it.
Okay.
It's a movie.
Before we end it off,
Sure.
I got to let you know that the camera is now all yours. Whatever you got going on, if you want to give advice, if you have something that's coming up, the camera's yours. You can say whatever you want.
For sure. So, what's up, y'all? It's your boy Peace. I'm here with something that I think is going to grow to be so beautiful. And I just want to definitely give you your flowers, because this is a great thing you have going. But we got a lot of beautiful things coming up. We got shows. We got merch coming soon. I have so many great people around me. I want to give thanks to all my brothers that helped me with my music, all the brothers that, even my boy Deshaun right here, holding it down with the camera. I want to give thanks to God. I want to let everybody know that peace is about God, and I want to bring a new energy to the game. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's real stiff right now. It's a whole lot of movement that could be happening, and I love everybody. If you think we have similar tastes or you want to collab, my Instagram will probably be tagged, hopefully.
Definitely.
For sure. So let's talk. We moving up. Appreciate you.
All right, cool. So I'm just going to go ahead and end it off, right?
Got you.
So I just want to say, first of all, I appreciate you being here. It means everything to me to have guests on, and amazing, not only guests, but amazing people.
Mhm.
Because at the end of the day, what make up a community are amazing people.
Right.
So just to say that, I appreciate everybody who's listening in. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe. If you're watching on any audio platforms, leave a review. It helps more than you think. And if you're new here, welcome to the Community Pod. But I'm going to leave all your information in the description, and we are out. Peace.
That was awesome, bro.